Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Please, this is going to be a quick one concerning what is happening between Richard and Richard Ayotunde or whatever his name is and Olukoya of MFM. I know so many of you might not be thinking in this direction, but the reason why I want to say this is because we have more challenging problems in Nigeria. 280 children were kidnapped. Nobody is talking about them. Just like it happened to Chibok girls. Those girls are gone forever. They are also human beings. Look at what is happening in Delta, in Delta State, in that community. And so many of us are getting distracted easily with unnecessary news. I'm back to Richard and Olukoya. In all fairness to Olukoya, so that you people won't be thinking that I am out for just one person, or maybe I'm out for just. In all fairness to Olukoya and to all these other men that we hype as men of God, in all fairness to them, the people who surrounded them before, that they were doing all of these things together, destroying lives and doing all of these evil things, there is a still small voice in them that was always telling them that what they were doing was wrong. It was all about destroying people's lives. Richard didn't talk back then. And he knows so many things. They've been together for so many years. Because if I'm moving with somebody today, 2024, and he begins to steal or he begins to kill for rituals, and I don't speak up, that means I am an accomplice to that person. That is the truth. Then after some years, something happens, maybe because of money or because of some other things. Then I begin to speak up. Then it will have already been too late. Because I have always been an accomplice. And back to Richard. Yes, maybe you're coming out due to some other things. If you know anything, say it out. Let the whole world know. Even if it is going to indict you yourself. If you are truly somebody who deserves mercy. If you are somebody who wants the truth. If you are somebody who pities everyone in MFM, thinking that Olukoya is actually a man of God when he is not, if this is what you are going to tell, but that you are going to be disturbing us with they arrested me like unjustly and everything. We are tired of all this news. There's nobody on planet Earth that will die twice. Whatever you people know, come out and say it. The whole world will be hearing. Thank God we are in the days and era of social media. Put on your live video as they are treating you. People will stand up. All the things that Richard knows about Olukoya, the whole world wants to know. If it is going to be going as deep as what do they call it, corridor deliverance or whatever deliverance or some other things. Maybe him allegedly sleeping around. The only problem is maybe because you people call him man of God. That is all. If the people he has been sleeping with, if they are not underage, Richard, you don't have any case against Olukoya because it will have been a consensual sexual intercourse between Olukoya and whosoever those people are, allegedly. So please, Emma disturb Uwapelu, Gbogbo Radaradanyi. Tell us whatever you know. That is what we are saying. You cannot be disturbing the social media with the arrest me today. I'm saying it. Go, come out and say it. At least we know that even if this takes your life, we know that you will have done a very gracious thing. Please, guys, if I'm not making sense, let me know. But if I'm making sense, let me know. There is something between Richard and Olukoya that I think, personally, if Richard says it out, maybe he himself will be indicted. And if he's not ready to tell us what he knows about Olukoya, enough of all this rubbish on social media. Nigeria is undergoing bigger problems. Look at our yearly budget for 2024. Look at the billions that this federal government is dishing out for street lights. When we cannot boast of electricity in 2024, we cannot boast of security in Nigeria, the two major important parts of economy that will make people to come and invest. You people are there disturbing us with Richard and Olukoya today, Richard and Olukoya tomorrow. Mr. Richard, in my video will get to you. Please, the whole world wants to know what you know about Olukoya, that they are arresting you up and down. There is more to this issue. If these things that you know about him will also indict you, so be it. Ó ti bá wọn jẹ nílé Alárò, ó ti bá wọn jẹ nílé Àrẹ̀sà, ó ti bá wọn jẹ nílé Ìlá-Ọ̀ràngún. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti yí yín lọ́wọ́ nìyẹn, because you were with Olukoya not 5 years, not 10 years. So ìwọ gan ti bá wọn jẹ nǹkan tẹ ayé aláyé tẹ bàjẹ́ ẹjọ́ sọ síta. Àbí kí ni mò ń sọ? Kí ló dé gan-an? And gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ surround àwọn tó pera wọn ní ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run yìí tó ẹgbẹ́ torí ìjẹkújẹ tẹ́ ń jẹ irrespective ẹni táyé ẹ̀ bá bàjẹ́ kò kàn yín, but torí ìjẹkújẹ tẹ́ ń jẹ ìfúngà táwọn bàbá yóò mọ̀ tí rìdíìmù tán mú wá fún mi tí ìfẹ́ sọ́nsìn, because in all fairness ó possible kí bàbá Adébóyè gan máa mọ̀ báwọn tó wà lábẹ́ àwọn ń ṣe kíni. Unfortunately for Baba will always be indicted, but that's the truth, because he's the one who raised these men under him. So kò dẹ̀ sí bá ṣe máa porí ajá tàbí porí ìkòkò. Mi ti fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ títí rìdíìmù yẹn sìn, but story yẹn ó ń kúkú lọ́wọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi magí àti iyọ̀ sí kẹ́wọ́ kodoro ọ̀rọ̀. But as far as Richard and Olukoya of MFM, their issue is concerned, please, Richard, for once, maybe the whole Nigeria will create an opportunity for you. Ìtọ́ba ẹgbẹ́ káwọn lọ́yà jẹ́ kó máa lọ sí African country kan. Kó dẹ̀ mú evidence gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀ jọ ṣètìlẹ́ fi jóná jáde. Anything short of that, we don't want to hear again. Ó ti sú wa because we have bigger problems in Nigeria. People are dying every day. Things are happening. The cabals are taking over Nigeria by storm. And we are just getting distracted easily. And these so-called men of God, they know what is happening to Nigerians. And lastly, I will submit in this video, the federal government and these pastors and affairs, they can never claim that they don't know about kidnapping and about terrorism in Nigeria. Because if they truly want to, if they truly want to stop these ritual killings, what stops the Senate, what stops the National Assembly from upgrading the punishment against kidnappers and terrorists and against ritualists? Because the two books that they use to swear them in, both the Bible and Quran, the book says that ẹni tó bá kú, ẹni tó bá pààyàn, whosoever kills by the sword must die by the sword. If you kill, you must be killed. What are the rituals, the ritualists that they have apprehended already? What are they doing in prison if they are not killed yet? I'm asking, why are they still lying there? Why are they still occupying places in our cells and prisons? Why are they not killed there? So you understand that the laws of Nigeria in the constitution, they are meant for the poor. And they have done it schemically in such a way that there are some laws that do not touch them as politicians. And it is wrong. And Hi Rotimi Daniel Sawikoko Lojo Oloro is crying out now that Nigerians, we should wake up. This is not the time to segregate. This is not the time to lose focus of the right battle. That we are going to be living leprotic situations. And we are going to be dancing around ringworms. Nigerians, wake up. I am telling you the truth. I said in 2020 what before election. It's supposed to be Operation Shut Everything Down. You people thought I didn't know what I was saying. And yet, we don't want to die. We don't want to die. Then is it not better to die honorably well than the way they are killing us as Nigerians? Both in the hands of politicians and the religious leaders that you and I are serving. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún ẹ jẹ́ ká padà lẹ́yìn àwọn onímọ̀ṣáláṣí àtàwọn oníṣọ́ọ̀ṣì. Tá a bá ti padà lẹ́yìn wọn, àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe burúkú tó ń ṣògùn fún wọn náà, wọn ò ní rí ṣe mọ́. Gbogbo wa máa wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jà sójú kan náà. Kojú nǹkan tẹ́mi rí lọ o. Kí Richard àti Olukoya kájọ kan já sinmi. Ntọ́ bá payín pẹ̀lú ọjọ́jú ẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ti fẹ́ jẹ́ ká gbọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ̀dẹ̀ sí lọ sí church yìí náà, ìjọ tẹ́ bá di victim tẹ́ bá wá sọ̀rọ̀, it will have been too late. Ire o. Nonsense.